In this video, we will be looking at the final review for Unit 4. And that starts on page 18. And we can use the calculator in this exercise. So that's a very good thing. I will always jump at that chance. And here is question 1. Write the algebraic expression in words. 7 plus, so I see addition. X divided by 12, I see division. And I don't know if you noticed there, but I almost wrote the word quotient because that's the word that comes to mind when I see those. Addition is likely to be the word sum, but it doesn't have to be. It can be other ways of saying addition. So A says 7 times the quotient. We're not multiplying, so A is not my choice. Same thing with B. 7 times, we're not multiplying. 7 more than, there's my addition word, so it's not the word sum. The quotient, so there's a division word. But you notice that D says the same thing. So I'm not going to be able to rely just on the words. 7 more than the quotient, this is option C. 7 more than the quotient of 12 and an unknown number, that would be 12 over x. And D says 7 more than the quotient of an unknown quantity and 12. So x over 12. The one we want is D. 7 more than the quotient of an unknown quantity and 12. Number 2. David cleans 48 windows in an 8-hour workday. He cleans the same number of windows each hour. Which equation can be used to determine how many windows David cleans in 1 hour? So get your story straight. He cleans some windows for 8 hours. And that totals 48 windows. We know the total that he gets done in a day. So I can eliminate B right here because it equals 8. We need it to equal 48. I can eliminate C and D because they're not multiplying. We want to say 8 times the windows is 48. And that is option A. We don't have to solve it, we just have to set it up. Number 3. Which 3 numbers, so we need 3 answers on this one, can be substituted for Q in the inequality to make it true? Well, you can substitute all of those in there if you want. I am going to just solve the inequality and then pick my answers. So we have our variable on this side, it's the letter Q, and our constants are all going to move over to this side. So I'm going to move the 8 to start with, and that will give me 3Q equals 25. Then divide by 3. And remember, we can use the calculator. So Q is greater than 25 thirds. And 25 divided by 3 is 8.33 repeating. So whatever I substitute for Q, it has to be bigger than 8.3. And so I will choose the 9, the 10, and the 11. Bigger than 8.3. Don't let that decimal get you rattled. The inequality tells you that Q has to be greater than 8.3. Number 3 is D, E, and F. Number 4. Holly and Elizabeth are on a fishing trip. Holly catches 23 fish, and Elizabeth catches 5 times as many fish as Holly. How many fish does Elizabeth catch? So they tell me that Elizabeth is 5 times Holly, and that Holly catches 23. So Elizabeth is 5 times 23. And this time we don't have to do this by hand. Don't you love that? 23 times 5 means Elizabeth is 115 fish. That's a lot of fish. Number 5. Which expression is equivalent to the one they gave me? So we need to factor in this one. We have to pull out the common factor. So let me list the common factors, or the factors, and then we'll figure out which is common. So 15 times 1, 3 times 5 would give me 15. And then 6 is 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. So the greatest common factor, in fact the only common factor because we don't count ones, is this 3. Okay. But we can also take out the letter P because both of these have a P. So I'm going to say, here's the expression. I'm going to pull out the 3 and the letter P because both of them have that letter P. You want to take out what they both have. 3 times 5 would make the 15, and 3 times 2 would make the 6. So the answer you want is C. This is called factoring. Number 6. A pH reading of 6.9 or lower is considered acidic. Which inequality represents this information? I'm going to encourage you to graph. Put your circle on there and your 6.9. And ask yourself, can I include the 6.9? 6.9 or lower? Yes, you include the 6.9 and you go this way. And they're letting R be the unknown. So R is less than or equal to 6.9. R is less than or equal to 6.9. And that is option A. Number 7. In a hockey game, the Wolves score 4 fewer goals than the Bombers. So the Bombers won the game. Let W represent the number of goals the Wolves score. Which expression represents the number of goals the Bombers score? So let's think about this one this way. We have the Wolves and we have the Bombers. Ask yourself, who won the game? The Bombers won the game. They scored more than the Wolves. So if the Wolves scored W, the Bombers scored the same amount and then some. The Bombers scored 4 more than the Wolves. So the answer we want here is B. The Bombers were the Wolves plus 4 because they won the game. I think that one's tricky. You have to really think about that. It helps me to think about the Bombers as the winner of the game. Number 8. Redwood trees can measure up to 24 feet in diameter. So what that means is if this is the tree, this dimension, the diameter, can be up to 24 feet. That's huge. This is 8 times the diameter of the sugar maple tree. So the sugar maple is going to be a much smaller diameter. It's actually 8 times less than the redwood. So the redwood is 8 times the sugar maple. And they want us to find the diameter of the sugar maple. So 24 is 8 times the maple. To solve that, we're going to divide both sides by 8. So the maple turns out to be 3 feet. 24 divided by 8 is 3. Number 9. What property is used to show the expression is equivalent to the expression? So they want to know how I would move from this to this. Those are equal, but which property lets me do that? And that is going to be the distributive property. This is the FOIL process, where you multiply first times first, outer times outer. It is foiling, and that is a form of distribution. I wouldn't worry too much about that number 9. It's great if you know it. If you don't, if you didn't, don't sweat that one too much. Number 10. The table shows the number of kilometers Javier bikes per hour. Which 3 ordered pairs could be included in the table? Now remember, this is one of those where we always want to know a unit rate. If you don't know the unit rate, find the unit rate, and that will help you. But this time we do know. We know that it's 1 to 24. So I'm going to set up a table over here just to help me organize this a little bit of input values to output values. And input is the number of hours, output is the number of kilometers. So we have 1 hour 24 kilometers, 2 hours 48 kilometers, 3 hours 72 kilometers, 4 hours 96 kilometers, and then we have the missing pieces. So we're trying to figure out what could fit right here between 4 and 10. So we know that any of these inputs could fit. 7, 8, and 9 are all in there, so any of them could. Any of the outputs could fit. 154 to 216 is in that yellow range. So we have to figure out which one fits the relationship. So to do that, what you want to do is set up a formula. So we know that the kilometers, the output, is equal to 24 per hour. So kilometers will be 24h. And then once you get that equation, you can set up your test each of these options. So the first one is 7 hours. So let's see what happens at 7 hours. And I'm going to move this over here. So kilometers equal 24 times h. So I'm going to say 24h. That's 24 times 7. Use your calculator. Remember, we can do that. 24 times 7 is 168. So this is not right. It's not 154, but it is B, 168. So when the input is 7, the output is 168. When the input is 8, 24 times 8 on the calculator is 192. So this is a true one, which means that D cannot be true. It can't be both 192 and 198. It has to be one or the other. And then 24 times 9 on your calculator is 216. So we want to use F. So those three are the possible fits for the table. Number 11. Which expression results in a product? Product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So that will be D. Number 12. Anna shops for shirts and pants. She buys 2 pairs of pants for $25 each. Shirts cost $20 each, and Anna spends $110. How many shirts does Anna buy? Well, we know that she buys shirts and pants, and that together that totals $110. We know that she buys 2 pairs of pants for $25 each, and we know that shirts are $20, but we don't know how many she buys. So we have 20s plus 50 equals 110. So take the 50 off each side, and you have 20s equals 60. Divide by 20. So she bought 3 shirts. That is a classic algebra problem. Your answer is C. She bought 3 shirts. Number 13. What is the value of the expression when A is 4 and B is 2? I like my variable box. You don't have to draw that if you don't want to, but I like it. A is 4 and B is 2. And here's the expression. 3 times A over 6 plus 3 times B to the second power. So I've substituted my variables in there. I want to make sure you keep them straight. Put A's in for A's and B's in for B's. 3 times 4 is 12. Divided by 6 is 2. So just keep simplifying it until you get what you need. And then this one I have 3 times 2 times 2, that's 4. So this is 12. And then we add those together to get 14. So the answer is A, 14. Number 14. The value of m is 5 more than 7 times a number n. Which expression represents the value of m? So it says that m is 5 more than 7 times the number n. Excuse me. So m equals 5 plus 7n. Which expression is the value of m? Well, it's telling you m is this amount. So that's the amount you want to look for in your choices, and it is B. Be careful there with your m's and n's. Those are very easy to get mixed up. Number 15. The inequality f is greater than or equal to 15 means the same as which statement? I encourage you to graph the inequality. Greater than equal to, that is a closed circle. And f is above 15. That means that it is in this area up here. F is at least 15. F is at most 15. F is no more than 15. Or F is a maximum of 15. A is saying the same thing. F is 15 or more. It is at least 15. The snowfall in December is S inches. There is 4 times as much snowfall in February. Which expression can be used to describe the total snowfall in the 2 months? So they tell me that February is 4 times December. So we have an equal sign. We know that December is supposed to be the letter S. So 4 times S, that is 4S. So February alone is 4 S's. But then they want to know the total snowfall for the 2 months. They want to know February, which we just found to be 4S, plus December, which we know to be S. So 4S plus S would be the answer we're looking for, and that is D. Which expression can be used to represent 8 less than 3 times a number? 8 less than. That means minus 8. 3 times a number is 3. They're using the letter P, so I'll use that. Put those in standard form. You have 3P minus 8, and that is option A. Number 18. Which expression is equivalent to this one? So we have 13z's plus 8 minus 2 plus 5z. Now remember that there is a ghost 1 sitting in here, and that needs to be distributed through these terms. So we have negative 1 times 2, that's negative 2. Negative 1 times positive 5 is negative 5 with a z. Use your calculator. Remember, you have access to that. And then this one is not going to change. We just have 13z plus 8. And then I need to combine my like terms. I need to say 13z take away 5z. So that's going to give me 8 z's. And then we need to say positive 8 minus 2. That's going to give me a positive 6. And then I can't mix a z and a 6. That's a variable and a constant term. We can't combine those. So that is the simplified answer. Number 19. On Tuesday, Maria sees 15 geese on a lake. On Wednesday, she sees 5 times as many geese on a lake. How many geese does Maria see on Wednesday? So they tell me that Wednesday is 15. I do that every time. Wednesday is 5 times Tuesday. And Tuesday was 15. So on your calculator, do 5 times 15. And that means on Wednesday, she saw 75 geese. Okay, that brings us to the end of the review and to the end of the chapter. Our next chapter is going to be about, it's more algebraic thinking, but you'll learn some new skills. It's not just about equations and expressions. Please remember, if you have questions or need more help, to contact your instructor, and he or she will be happy to help you with any of these and anything else that you have questions about. I will see you soon to begin a new unit. I hope you have a really good day. Bye-bye.